What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing, man? Let me get this Instagram started. What's going on, everybody on Instagram? How y'all feel, man? You tuned into another Thursday Night Live with your boy Clarence Brown. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Clarence Brown. I'm a relationship coach, certified relationship coach. I'm an author, a speaker, and the host of the Male Translations podcast. And right now, you tuned in to the Thursday Night Live, man. Right now, we're going to be going in on a great topic this evening, man. We're going to have a great discussion. I have an awesome guest, man, one of my guys. He is also a certified relationship coach. He's also an author. He's also a podcaster, influencer as well. And he's going to be joining me tonight, man, to join along in this conversation. Man, we're going to get it popping tonight. So everybody, I need y'all to tune in tonight because it's going down. I know, ladies, y'all going to probably have some fits tonight. So I'm going to ask that y'all go ahead and drop those questions, whatever you have as far as questions, drop those inside the comment box because we'll be taking those comments later on throughout the broadcast. But tonight, man, we're going to be talking about a great topic. Tonight, we're going to talk about why women refuse to follow a man's lead. All right. Why women refuse to follow a man's lead. We're going to chop that up tonight because for me, I feel like, I think a lot of ladies are really talking good as if, hey, listen, you know what? When I find that right guy, when I find a good guy, all these things will change. I'm going to turn and morph into this, feminine, submissive, cooperative woman once the right guy crosses my path. So, I feel like I got to challenge that tonight. And I also brought a guest, like I said, my guy, Terry Duran, certified relationship coach, author, podcaster, influencer as well. And we're going to chop that up tonight and really get into that. So I need y'all to come on in. We're going to have a discussion right now. We're going to church right now. So I'm going to bring my guy, Terry Duran, in, and we're going to really, really get into it. Let me bring him right on in, guys. I ain't going to hold you. Terry, what's happening, bro? How you feeling, man?
What's going on, bro? Appreciate you having me on, man.
Most definitely. So let me get this volume up for everybody that's on Instagram. For those of y'all that follow Terry Duran, man, he has amazing content when it comes to social media and just the stuff that he talks about, things that he posts. A lot of times it may rub some people the wrong way, but I think it really provokes a lot of thought and get the conversation started, which is really what we need to have these conversations in order to bridge that gap of communication and understanding when it comes to relationships. So Terry, man, how you feeling tonight, man?
Oh man, I can't complain, bro. I'm good. Just enjoy my vaporizer, so I'm on cloud nine, feeling lucky.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So, man, listen, it's been a minute. For everybody that's on Instagram right now, I need y'all to throw Terry some claps right now, some cuffs, some broken cuffs or something like that, man. For real, some emojis. My boy just got out of Instagram jail. They've been holding him down, trying to keep a black man down, not letting him post, not letting him reach his audience and be able to speak truth to power when it comes to relationships from a male perspective. So, man, we got to give you a welcome home round of applause, man, for being able to make it on out, man. You know what I mean? You stayed down, you didn't snitch, you didn't turn like 6'9" on it. You dig what I'm
Yeah, man,
saying?
they be hating on your boy. I don't know what it is, man. They don't really give you no direction on what happened or what you did or whatever. You don't know until you try to go live and you get the little alert saying you blocked.
Bro, every day the guidelines switching, bro. I swear in the last 2 months or something, I had been getting kicked out of my Instagram. I had to, remake passwords and usernames like multiple times. I'm thinking to myself, bro, what's going on, man? These algorithms and everything. Like, it would be all good just a week ago. What Too Short at JC Cut?
Man, be
Man,
careful
listen,
as people trying to hack your accounts too.
that's a
That
fact.
you get all kind of emails. You want to get verified. They'll send all kind of stuff to try to
Right,
get you to
right.
click and give them access to your account. So anybody that got followers, be on the lookout for that.
All right. So everybody that follows Terry, man, y'all know his voice, man. It's my guy right here, man. We're not gonna hold y'all too long. Gonna get right into it because I know that's what y'all want to get into the conversation of why women refuse to follow a man's lead. So Terry, man, you know what I mean. People, we want to hear what you got to say, bro. Want to see how you feel about it, and we're gonna chop it up. So my first question, man, because I see women, they, in my opinion, They capping. Deja Simone, I see y'all on Instagram. I feel like I hear a lot of women that make the statement of, hey, what they would be when they find the right guy, when they find a leader, when a guy steps up to the plate and does what he's supposed to do. You know, you name it. You get all of these statements that say, hey, I'm one way now with a man, and yeah, because of the things I've been through, this is why I'm the way I am. But you know, trust and believe, when I find the right guy, like all of that changes, all of that turns around, and now, you know, I'm going to become this more submissive, more cooperative, more, you know, able to follow a man's lead type of lady. So my question, bro, is this: what makes a woman, in your eyes, respect a man, or even give him some level of autonomy over her situation, over her life? In your opinion, what makes that woman say, okay, I can respect him?
Man, I really think that's what the woman saw growing up.
Mm-hmm.
The women that I know that have healthy relationships with men and you know, are willing to be submissive or let a man lead, they usually had grandparents or saw somebody in their life that was in a healthy relationship for a long period of time.
Right.
And so there's more trust there. Uh, they don't have the perspective of men that a lot of women get from single mothers or women that they did, or those that didn't see a long term healthy marriage. So I think that's the major component. And I also think a woman's dating history has a lot to do with it.
Mm.
From what I see and just interacting with all the women, you know, family members, cousins, etc. Women make horrible decisions on who they date and who they give their time and attention to,
Mm-hmm.
and so a lot of their perspective on men is shaped off the worst dudes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they choose the worst dudes because if you notice, like anytime you have a discussion with women, um, you could bring up any subject and the women that want to push back, they're gonna bring up the insecure dude, the bum dude, the broke dude, the abusive dude. They're always gonna choose a dude from one of these horrible categories that we all in agreement with or messed up categories. They never talk about the dude that got his life together. They never talk
Mm-hmm.
about the dude that tries to communicate this. You know what I'm saying? Like so
Right.
that just shows you that their perspective always jumps to the negative when it comes to men. And I think that's largely to do with their upbringing and they dating history.
Most definitely. And to me, to be completely honest, you know, there are very few things that will make a man, I mean, excuse me, make a woman like truly respect a man and follow his lead. Because, you know, to be on topic again, it's you know, one thing to get respect from a woman here and there, like certain things she can respect, you know, maybe how you take care of yourself, how you carry yourself, how you may take care of your children or your family, or just hold down situations and just, you know, be determined to get through certain things, right? And all of those things can be respected in the moment. And but at the same time, overall, when it comes to what would make a woman say, okay, well, I will defer to you, I will kind of allow you to be the one that has the final say so. And it's not to say that I don't have a voice, but ultimately, if you say, hey, at the end of the day, this is what we're gonna do, then you know she's gonna be willing to take on that position of following it and playing her role. I think that there's few things. To me, what first comes to mind is, of course, money, right? I mean, a lot of women would say, "Hey, I don't respect a man with money. It don't matter how much money he has, but money talks and BS walks." We know that from back in the day. So all I'm saying is, overall, you know, there are women that will respect a man more solely because they know he has resources and an ability to create a lifestyle she's not able to create herself. And then we all
True.
know the other one is that it's the it's the stroke game, and you know what I mean. We all adults here. I'm not trying to say, you know, I'm not trying to put it in a way where it may be distasteful, but I mean, to be completely honest, come on now. You know,
Yeah,
there's some.
don't,
We talk about them
those
bum
those are
guys,
two
man.
those are
You know, them
two
bum guys.
superficial
That's
things.
how they make it happen.
I mean, what you just mentioned are two things that women largely use to evaluate a man. They
Right.
wallet and they sex game. And both of those things are horrible things to use. Like they can be
Mm-hmm.
preferences and you can have, you know, things that you like or dislike. It should be a factor, but for a lot of women, we see the you know secure the bag type mentality that these women have out here.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put up with a whole lot of stuff that they claim they wouldn't put up with if a dude's buying them designer and taking them on trips and cash
Right.
apping them money out the blue, etc. So a lot of the stuff that we do see is a lot of cap. You know what I mean? In
Right.
regards to what they'll do for a guy that either got them, hooked on that pipe, or got the money to spend. But the problem though comes, with the good guys, where the woman knows you're not gonna hit her. She knows
Hmm.
you're not gonna handle her in any kind of way. You know what I mean? Like the guys that actually have respect and chivalry, a lot of times you are at a disadvantage, because if a woman disagrees with you or wants to upset you, there really ain't nothing you can do about it.
Right.
And we see that we live in a generation where women can be intentionally petty and intentionally disrespectful, and then play the victim if there's any retaliation or the behaviors reciprocated.
Right.
So, in a lot of ways, men are at a disadvantage when it comes to that. You just have to do a thorough vetting process before you get in a committed relationship with a woman, if possible. Um, Sometimes that situation doesn't present itself till y'all married or y'all got kids already. But unfortunately, I'll say that the only the lack of submission, I really only see that among Black people or African Americans, and so
Hmm.
to me, that's an indication that that's a direct result of the white supremacy and slavery. I actually did a YouTube video earlier this week where I talked
Right.
about the things that hinder Black love, and so that's one of those things. Um, Slavery took away the man's dominant position in the Black family. It changed the way that Black women viewed Black men. Like
Hmm.
white women have always been able to look at white men as security providers, etc. They make the most money, they got the most resources, etc.
Right.
Right? But Black men, that was stripped from them. The way that they would buck break slaves, that took away the protection aspect, and it put Black women overall in a consciousness to where they're they don't have as much respect for Black men because you can't protect us from the white man. And
Mm.
so those are the type of repercussions it has on our interactions. It's a lack of respect. It's I can disrespect you too. And only the woke women will get past that and realize how destructive that is.
Most definitely. So, hey, Instagram guys, if you guys want to see both myself and Terry Deron, you can click over on YouTube on the Male Translations page, Male Translations on YouTube. Make sure you guys don't forget to subscribe, and you'll be able to see us both live and in person right now. So, I got a couple comments say all the bum guys have is that stroke game. Hey, listen, you got to use your resources, man. God ain't all give us the same toolbox. Let me see. Lady for the win says money isn't a factor. Being a provider is. That may be somewhat true, but
Money's
regardless,
always a factor.
exactly to me, however you slice it, providing with what resources. And in America, we use the U.S. dollar. So to me, you know what I'm
Well, you
saying?
know what? I think that word provider gets thrown around a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and people kind of change the definition to fit whatever they say that a man's supposed to do for them. A lot of women use that word provider to mean provide me with the luxury lifestyle that I really can't provide myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think most men look at the word provide means I'm providing the basic necessities: shelter, protection, food, etc.
Right.
Anything else on top of that is optional and a luxury. A woman that can look at men from that perspective has a much better chance of having a healthy relationship and not creating chaos or dysfunction over luxury items, things that are
Mm-hmm.
not necessities. A lot of women trip off of stuff like that just because you ain't buying me a bag, or you ain't giving me something that I can stunt with on
I know.
Instagram.
I saw that post you put up with a chick and a dude from like the UK or something. Yeah.
I mean, that stuff's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so,
For sure.
so you
So
you got
here's
to
the thing,
figure it
man. I
out when
want
you dating.
Right. I want to ask, man, do you think though? Because in my opinion, think that we get over labeled, right? And I'm not. And here's the thing: I say that knowing as my ears tingle, I can hear women that will make the argument, "Y'all do the same thing. Y'all do the same thing." And even in my relationship, in my marriage, sometimes it's hard to get around the comparison when you're trying to address something, right? So, especially here, I want to say before we get into this question, Yes, men can label women. All right, let me just throw that. You know what I mean? I should put that on the ticker going across the bottom, right? Men do it as well, right? So when we have the conversation about men, we'll talk about that and really kind of dive into that to expose some of the things that we as men have tendencies and trends and patterns to do. But right now, when addressing this question of why women refuse to follow a man's lead, I gotta ask you because I feel like we get overgeneralized in this aspect, and I want to ask: do you think women overgeneralize men as quote unquote unable to lead, or do you think that's accurate? It's a two-part question. That's number one. Do you think women overgeneralize us as men as unable to lead, or is that accurate? And then the second part of the question is: do you think it's a cop out because they really don't want to, follow a man at all anyway?
Yeah, as far as the beginning of the question, I think that's another one of those cliches that gets
Mm-hmm.
defined by the user. And so when you're talking about following a man's lead or whatnot, from what I've seen, a lot of women have problems with men and the decisions that they make because it's not what they would do in a given situation.
Right.
So essentially, what a lot of women do is they penalize men for not thinking and making decisions like women do. So to me, that in itself shows you that they not trying to lead. They looking for you ain't doing it my way, so you wrong. You
Right.
didn't do what I would have did, so it's a problem. And that type of logic in itself is problematic because anytime you working with another person to maintain a comfort level, they not gonna do everything that you do. Like
Right.
think about how illogical it is to complain about a man not thinking and acting like a woman, right? Like the men that think and act like women are gay men, right? So
Facts.
these women will be with a straight man and then criticize all his or second guess everything he does because it's not what she would have did or it's not how she felt. Like and to me that's really problematic because men are supposed to balance out the emotional decision making and all that women bring to the table. And if you with a quality dude, he's gonna at least care about your opinion or be in putting forth effort to try to make sure you happy and you good after the necessities are taking place. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like
Right.
so, a lot of women struggle with that. They can't be told no. They can't have a man that they. I don't know why they have such a combative view towards men like that, but it makes it virtually impossible to have a healthy relationship with them.
Right. And I ain't gonna lie, I've heard women say, that they feel like sometimes men are trying to take their power. Anytime when you mention women being masculine or women kind of being in a dominant role in relationships and not only being proud of it, but just feeling like that's the way to go about being in a relationship and operating. And I think that sometimes that mindset comes from the fact that women just feel like, hey, well, you know what? If I give you that position of deferring to you, then now I'm stripped of my power, right? You hear that all the time, like, oh, well, you know what? Like, we should be able to do this. We should, I'm not going to just be a slave. You hear terms like this that make it seem as if by
Playing the
her
victim.
deferring to her man in any way. And so you see how contradictory it is when women do make, out of one side of their mouth say, hey, listen, I'm giving him power and I don't have any anymore. And at the other side of their mouth saying, hey, listen, I'm gonna do all of these things and submit to my king and all of these things.
Yeah, I mean, it does contradict what men actually experience dating women. And it's really a large reason a lot of guys ain't really that keen on getting married.
Mm,
They look at dating as a temporary thing because most women don't really have the mindset to actually build a long term relationship. I mean, in the topics that we bring up, every topic women suggest leaving the dude or find some way to make the dude that we're talking about not dateable or they would have dumped him, etc. And so these are the women that do petty stuff like block a dude and delete his number over something silly, and it could be something that he's trying to help her improve. Um,
right.
so so fellas, you just have to be able to figure out and weed through the women to figure out which ones have that mindset and which ones don't. I think guys that can demonstrate that they live in a stable lifestyle that a woman can see herself being a part of. I think over time he'll get a level of respect, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'll ever get to the point where she's gonna allow him to overrule her decision making,
Right. Dictate,
especially
anything.
especially once they start getting their own, they get their own money. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen several instances where a woman will just go come back with a car because she could. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like we talked about it and you said we need to wait till next year, but f that. I got
Right.
the bat, and it'll be
And
like,
they come back like Benny Siegel, like, and what? Look, listen, you know what? They ready
yeah.
to knife something down.
I mean, but imagine how much that tears up the infrastructure of your marriage or your relationship with your man to show him that you just don't care about his opinion that much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
but these are the mentalities that you see exhibited in women that are single. They taking
Right.
trips with their female friends. They buying luxury cars and buying bags, and they usually
Now you think you
single.
about to come in there and have a say so over how they move and how they operate, regardless of what you have and who you are, which is why I pose this question: why women refuse to follow a man's lead? Because I think the narrative women will have just to throw off this question or even a conversation is to just go and gloss the title of unworthy to be followed. You're not a leader. Men aren't leaders. Men gonna lead you down the road to destruction. All of these things that make it seem as if like if and like I said, it's out of one side you hear this, now the other side I'm hearing like, but I know some good men though. I know some good men, like my dad is a good man, or I got some cousins that I know take care of their family. They really about their kids. They in their kids' life, great fathers, this, that, and the third. So there are clear examples in women's eyes and in their lives of men who are great men, but at the same time will still act as if there aren't any great men to submit to. And I'm like, well, okay, so if you find somebody like those men that you feel represent that of a great man, then what would you do? And that's where, like I say, it sounds like a whole bunch of cap. When it sounds like, and one out of one side of your mouth, you saying all of which you're going to develop into and become, and then the other side is like, but at the
That's
same
just
time, I ain't
marketing.
gonna let no man tell me. You know what I mean?
That it's marketing. That's what they say to get a guy to buy in. Yeah, if I find the right one, I'll be the perfect wife. I'll do everything. Like you guys know better than that because no woman's really looking at themselves at their faults. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like just look at the Kevin Samuels videos. How many women think they tens? You know what I'm saying? Like they really be thinking that they perfect. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, and there ain't nothing you can really do about that because if you say that you really just average, you like all the other women. Now you a hater. Now
Right.
you tearing women down.
Right.
Well, damn, if you're on some unrealistic pedestal, to somebody telling you where you really supposed to be is really tearing you down, or is that them trying to help you get realigned to reality?
Right.
But that's a
Right.
problem
An
for a lot of
example, like
people.
when I coach, because I coach basketball as well. Listen, I'm the kids love me because they come to me and ask, okay, well, how do you assess me? Why? Because when they think they got, I'm like, bro, you trash. Like, you know what I mean? I know you 15, I know you 16, but when I was your age, I was 3 times as good as you, and you're not what what you claim to be. And you know what I
Saint
mean? And I
2K.
show them game film and things like that. Now, to me, I think that the guy, as men, we start to assess where we are, and we want to know so that we can be better at how we need to maneuver whatever obstacles we have in front of us, right? So, like you said, if a woman may say that she's a 10, then in her mind she doesn't have to do much in order to garner a man's attention or affection. But as a man, we know, like, listen, I know I got a big forehead. I know I got, what I mean, some features that I need to work with and work around and maneuver that. But hey, you know what? Because I accepted it early on, that allowed me to say, okay, well, this is my ceiling. You know what I'm saying? So I need to know how I need to
Yeah.
manage myself in this space, right? But I think a lot of times women feel like, hey, well, listen, I'm out of this world. There is no space for me to be confined to. Don't put me in a box. And therefore, then when it comes to somebody saying, hey, well, this is how I see it, then it becomes that problem you say, like when we watch the Kevin Samuels video.
Yeah, I mean that's a result of pandering too. You know, they've
Mm-hmm.
been told you perfect, you a queen, you beautiful, men love your stretch marks, like, and that don't align with reality. You know what I mean? Like, so
Mm-hmm.
anytime these
I
topics
ain't gonna
come
lie.
up,
Now, stretch mark or two, I don't have no problem with. It depends. It's in ratio.
true, that is fine, but it's On a big booty, that's where guys like stretch marks. They don't
Right.
like stretch marks on your arms because you just grossly obese. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, but these type of messages you're all beautiful. Never let no one tell you you're not attractive. And it's like, well, everybody ain't attractive. If
Right.
that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody ain't rich. Everybody's not attractive. And you got to come to that realization sooner or later.
Right.
Guys, like you were mentioning, like on a basketball team, they're a lot more realistic when what they think don't align with reality. The dude that
Hmm.
think he got the coldest handles, they get ripped at half court 3 times in a row, quickly realizes your handle is not like Kyrie, bro. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like he gets the reality check. Whether that's getting embarrassed, whether that's getting humiliated, or whatever the case might be. I don't think women really get that because any dating
But see, hold
situation
on,
that.
bro.
Go ahead.
Just to cut you off, I think that sometimes you have women that will be that person that gets stripped 3 times and say, "Coach, man, it's the ball, man. Son, the ball just slippery, man." You know what I'm saying? Like, and
That's
I'm
what I
like,
was just about
"Cuz
to say.
both teams
That's
are
what I was
playing
about
with
to
the
say.
same ball. Why
Right, I
aren't
was
the
about to
other
say.
players losing the ball?"
There's always a way to flip it and blame it on the man. Oh, he just wasn't the one. Oh, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's there's always a way to for women to it's not me, it's them type of vibe. And there are always gonna be other girl. It's not you. Her friends are gonna tell her to make her feel better and all that. And it doesn't help. It doesn't actually fix the problem. It doesn't explain
Mhm.
why he fell out of how the dude that loved you and wanted to marry you last year don't even want to be in a relationship with you no more. They never want to answer the questions of
Mhm.
what changed his feelings. What made him no longer view you as wife material? They don't want to talk about that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like so until they're willing to have the hard conversations and face some hard truths, a lot of women are not going to be in the mental space to have a healthy relationship, unfortunately.
Right. And Instagram, YouTube, while I'm asking Terry these questions, I'm also asking you guys as well. So I want y'all to not only hit that like button, but I also would want to hear your perspectives because we got a few comments. We got some from Gemini Magic talking about the bum dudes earlier with, all they depending on is they stroke game. They like, they like Zion right now in the NBA. Always everything going left, even one sided, no ambidextrous, just straight one strength. And also, what was it? Lady for the Win says money's not a factor. Being a provider is. I also seen some comments earlier as well. But I want y'all, especially the ladies, I would like to definitely hear how y'all feel about when it comes to following a man's lead. Is it something that you feel like most men aren't worthy of? Is it something that you feel like, hey, guys, have a lot of nerve to feel like that a woman should follow them for whatever reason? But we definitely, as men, would like to hear your opinion because while we're speaking, I know a lot of women may feel like, hey, well, no, that's not true, or this is so far from reality. Well, it would be great to have a conversation because these are the things that's going to actually bridge that gap of understanding where people may feel like, well, men might feel like, nah, I see it like this, and women feel like, well, it's more to it than that. So, what I had just asked Terry is, do women overgeneralize men as unable to lead? Which I do personally believe that they do. I feel like that oftentimes is a way to deflect from looking within oneself to really see what errors may have contributed to not having success in certain relationships. But again, where when I gave the basketball analogy, a kid might think he got it. Like you said, he gets stripped 3 times at half court. Some might say, man, I need to get better. And you'll have others say, man, the ball just slippery, man, just because it had sweat on it. Now I'm good. It's just the only reason why he. And it's like, no, it's because he actually your handles aren't that great like you think they are. You need to put in more work. You need to go back to the drawing board, right? So here's the thing, right? If a woman had what she would consider a great man, okay, we all heard the cliche, like we said earlier. A lot of women make the statement, "If I find the right guy," or they even say this, "I'll do these quote unquote things for my husband." When you see like certain statements or certain posts, you look in the comments or you look in the mentions, and a lot of women say, well, you know what, I would only do such and such for my husband. Like, if he just my boyfriend, don't even expect me, don't even ask me. But yet, if you're my husband, then you'll have the right. So I'm asking, if a woman had a great man, would she be more willing to follow his lead, right? Or or will she never be able to follow his lead no matter what? will she see that she can't defer to him no matter what, regardless of him being that great man or not?
Uh, See, the problem is the phrase "great man." I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women struggle with evaluating men. So the way that they come to the conclusion that a guy's a great man is most likely off of what he gives her or what he allows her to get away with. You know what I mean, or allows her to do. So that's not necessarily the man that's better for her long term. That's going to be a better father, a better husband, etc. So a lot of women that for the guys that they feel is a great man, the guys that's spoiling them and taking them shopping, yes, they will listen to him because they know that arguing with him or breaking up with him would prevent them from getting what they ultimately are really
Enjoy, yeah,
excited about. You know, the perks, the luxury,
right.
the not having to pay for things themselves. But also, one of the things I wanted to talk about that I don't think a lot of women put a lot of thought to, the conversation of a man paying 100% of the bills always comes up, right?
Hmm.
But what they don't really talk about is how much control a person that pays 100% of your bills has over your life. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like they don't talk about the abusive men that use money to gain control over a woman, that convince a woman to quit her job and become dependent on him. Like so they fantasize about a situation that is really gonna strip them of power. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like these same independent women that talk all this stuff about what they should be able to do and all this, but they fiending and praying for a situation that strips them of they power because it comes with getting money, you know, at a man's expense. So
Right.
I don't think those women, like in general, are equipped to lead a man because they're from what I see, their core reaction is to find the way the man was wrong, find something that the man did that contradicts what he's trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying, or find some type of justification for why they should be able to think or do what they. I said what I said, you know what I'm saying. That's
Right.
more
Right.
most likely what the response you're gonna get out of this generation of women.
And here's the thing, man, that's so true. And I think the reason why I stated the question like I did, where I just said, quote unquote, a good man, is because it's subjective to so many women, right? You might have a woman say a good man is a man who takes care of this, and he's a God fearing man, or what he's this type of guy with reference to character. And then another a woman may base him being a good man being, like you said, a man who's willing to provide, and to the extent where she doesn't have to pay for anything, and yet he's willing. He's just open to, hey, whatever you need, which is, to
Real
greatly
gullible
to
if
her
you
benefit. But
a
as
lot
you
of
said
dudes.
too, go ahead.
I was gonna say that could put a lot of dudes in a bad position. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
like in Texas where I live, like you could do that. You could be the genuine hopeless romantic man. I'm feeling this chick. I'm gonna make sure her life is better. But you
right.
could get hit. You could do that for a year or two, and now you common law married, where y'all
Mm,
break up. You literally got to go through a divorce. So that could come back to really be painful for.
right.
I
That
saw
was
that
in
happen to
wasn't that in a UGK song? Ain't that a
I don't remember it, but I know
yeah,
that when I was in the
Pimp C, he
military,
said, hey, yeah, when y'all common law married.
common law marriage is real, man. In some places, it could be if y'all live together for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
it could be something like that where you move in an apartment, y'all both get a bill. Next thing you know, you legally married. So this is why it's important to vet the person that you're trying to marry or have children with. And pages like ours, like I think that's the ultimate tool because you can screenshot a discussion from my page, shoot it to your girl, your guy, and see what they actually have to say about it.
Right.
Like if they respond like one of these chicks that be in my comments that argue and disagree with everything, then you're the damn fool if you commit to that woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, or you know what to expect. So social media, depending on how you use it, and if you use it as a tool, it can work wonders for helping you vet the people that you dating.
Most definitely. And I'm seeing we got some comments coming through on YouTube. Like I said, Instagram, if y'all want to see both myself and Terry Deron, you can click
I see
over
we got
to to my YouTube and what is that? Male translations on YouTube. Make sure you guys don't forget to subscribe. Grow the audience, grow the page, so we can grow these discussions. And again, tonight's topic: why women refuse to follow a man's lead? Right. So we got some comments come through, and we gonna see what they talking about here on YouTube. Let me see. Girl Chiree, aka Angel, don't stop. She said, I think women have huge problem with being submissive. So saying men don't know how to lead is a scapegoat. Now that's a woman saying that way. Y'all let me know now. Hit that comment section. Y'all feel like that's game or that ain't really it right there. We need to know. Let me see. Raining. I want to say it's woman. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hey, listen, forgive me, but I think it says rain one. Personally, I think if a female thinks she can't trust his leadership, she shouldn't be with him. Period. Stop the excuses. I'm buying some of that, and I ain't gonna lie. Now I put some stock in that. Buy that like Bitcoin.